everybody. Gus and I are back. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, Mimi.
Gus is being silly. Well, this morning we're going to talk about a very special love story. Who knows about the story of Cinderella? Does anybody know that story? This is Cinderella. Well, Cinderella gets invited to a ball, which is a special kind of dance at the prince's castle. This is the prince. This is Prince Charming. See Prince Charming? The prince sees Cinderella and just falls in love with her. But at midnight, unfortunately, Cinderella's beautiful dress turns back into her regular clothes. Well, Cinderella was poor, so she didn't have really nice clothes. So she ran from the dance, and the prince couldn't find her. Well, as she ran, one of her glass slippers fell off, and the prince took it, and he told all of the people who worked for him to take that slipper and find the woman that it fits. And you know what happened? He found Cinderella. And guess what happened next? They got married and they lived happily ever after. Well, today's story is a story out of the Bible about a very special man and woman who also fell in love. And I'm going to read it out of the Spark Story Bible. So if you have one, hit the pause button and you can run and get yours if you want. It's on page 38. And this is a story about Abraham's son, Isaac. And if you remember,
I need to see.
Here. You may remember that God made a promise to Abraham that he would be the father of many. So, I'm going to read you the story about Rebekah and Isaac. God kept the promise to Abraham that he would have many children. God promised that Abraham's son Isaac would also have lots of children. When Abraham was very old, he asked his servant to help find a wife for Isaac. So the servant needed to go to a place where people loved God. And back then they didn't have churches. People lived in communities, in cities together. So he went on a long, long journey where he knew the people of God lived. And it was where Abraham grew up. When he got to the town, the servant knew that he needed to find the woman who would be Isaac's wife, but he didn't know how to find her. I don't know. Would you know how to find her? No. He prayed. See, he took out his praying hands. Okay.
Points out. I get it.
He prayed to God for help, which is something that you and I should always do when we are stuck or we're hurting or we have a problem or we have to make a decision. We should pray. We should always stop and pray. Always. He said, God, I will go to the well in this town and ask a woman for a drink. If she gives me a drink of water and offers to get a drink for my camels, then I will know that she is the right one. Because they'd come a long way and the camels were thirsty. And that's the picture. Can you find squiggles?
Here.
You see them? Sweet squiggles on every page. The servant waited patiently by the well. In the evening, a beautiful woman came to fill her jars with water. Her name was Rebekah.
I need to look.
The servant asked her for a drink. Rebekah replied, Sir, here is a drink for you. Let me get some water for your camels too. What did that mean?
What?
That means
What?
that was the one God picked for Isaac because she asked to give water to the camels.
What?
Remember Isaac's prayer. He said, I will go to the well in this town and ask a woman for a drink. If she gives me a drink of water and offers to get a
Is
drink...
that a whale?
Yes, it is a well. If she gives me a drink of water and offers to get a drink for my camels, then I will know she is the right one.
What happened to that baby?
We'll find out. So her name was Rebecca, and she showed a wonderful, wonderful kindness. The servant believed that God had heard his prayer. So he said to Rebecca, we're going to go over here first. God sent me a very long way to find you, he told her. God has a plan for you to marry a man named Isaac. God has promised that you and Isaac will have many children. You know what Rebecca said? She said, I have always...
What happened here?
I'm going to tell you, I have always wanted to have a lot of children. I know that God keeps his promises. I will marry Isaac. And after they got married, Isaac prayed for children. And guess what?
Right here?
They had twin boys. 2 babies at once.
Why is that one crying?
Well, babies cry. And their names were Esau and Jacob.
Why is this one crying?
He might be hungry. And there's a picture. You see the twin babies?
Mm-hmm.
And one's crying and one's happy. And that's what happens with babies, right? They cry. Well, guess what? You and me are part of God's promise to Abraham too. How does that make you feel? Pretty special? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you all have a wonderful day, and know that I love you, Gus loves you, and most importantly, Jesus loves you.